The newest TalesTube video has finally revealed the mysterious pinkish-haired woman that was teased oh so long ago.
Her name is Victoria, Tori for short, and apart from her occupation as a historian/scholar/researcher at the Spagonian University, there weren't really any answers on how the Sonic franchise plans to use her.
However, we may have gotten a huge hint thanks to Tori's introduction and a clear connection with the setting and characters of Sonic Unleashed. We may be looking at, potentially, one of the biggest teases from Sega. The thing is, this tease also poses a ginormous question that affects the Sonic franchise as a whole. We believe that this sudden love for Sonic Unleashed by Sega and Tori's reveal may hint at an official Sonic Unleashed remake or remaster. But this brings up that huge question. Does Sonic Unleashed need an official Sega-branded remake or remaster anymore? And more importantly, do any Sonic games in general even need to be remade or remastered by Sega from now on? And we ask this because, if you don't know, Sonic fans have been going absolutely crazy with their fan projects lately. The most recent one being Sonic Unleashed Recompiled, an unofficial PC port of Sonic Unleashed led by Scythe and their incredibly talented team of programmers and artists. Link in the description to the official GitHub page. These legends created what is essentially a full-on remaster of Unleashed with all the bells and whistles. Ultra-wide support, high frame rates and resolutions, a whole slew of new system, audio, and graphics settings, a built-in and revamped achievement system, and the whole thing has full-on mod support. This has been an impossible dream for the Sonic community for so long. And on March 1st, it was just casually released into the world by a dedicated and passionate group of fans.
And today, we'll be talking about this fan project as well as other Sonic fan projects, as we tackle the notion that maybe Sega doesn't need to go back and enhance these games anymore, because it's already done, and probably will be for other games eventually. But of course, things aren't just black and white, as we've seen with the success that is Sonic X Shadow Generations. Sega has proven that they can greatly enhance an older game, even to the point of adding entirely new stories.
Sonic Unleashed Recompiled has now become the definitive way to play Sonic Unleashed, especially the Hatsune Miku mod where Chip, Sonic's companion that journeys with him throughout the original game, is replaced with Hatsune Miku. Now, whether it's an entire rework of the game from the ground up or just one or two mods added in to provide an either more smooth or more hilarious experience, Sonic fans already seem to have the whole remake game covered. Their understanding of the characters and necessities of what gamers want nowadays is palpable. We have always dreamt of a Sonic 06 remake or remaster of some kind, but after P06, it's honestly not something we've thought of for a while now. And we wonder if Sega is thinking the same thing. At this point, with so many fans taking a crack at remixing these games for modern hardware, adding boatloads of features, and all for the price of $3 and no cents, what sense would Sega have? Let's see what I did there. What sense would Sega have in remaking something like Sonic 06 when fans have universally praised and been satisfied with P06, created by ChaosX? Their YouTube channel link is in the description, and please support them as they are doing God's work. Now let's think about it. If a Sonic 06 remake or remaster came out today, would you be willing to spend $60 to play it when a perfectly good remaster is sitting there for anyone to download for free? But at the same time, what if this official remake of 06 includes new stories, new animations with AAA quality, and animated shorts to hype up the release? All things they did with the Sonic Generations remake Sonic Shadow Generations. Even Sonic Colors Ultimate got a miniseries which was pretty darn good. Breaking things down, we are now at a fork in the road of two equally lovely yet frustrating paths. One path where fans are leading the charge when it comes to all future Sonic remakes, and so we get mod support, a higher level of community engagement, the potential ability to, as a fan, impact how the game is made down to the smallest detail, and remakes of less prioritized but beloved games like spin-offs.
Take Sonic Riders for instance. Different parts of the Sonic community are already in the process of creating a multitude of amazing Sonic Riders remasters and remakes, like with Sonic Riders Tournament Edition, Sonic Riders X, and Sonic Riders Evo. Links for all these cool projects in the description. But then, with the other path, we get the support of a AAA company, a higher budget, the large-scale special events and promotions, and more importantly, speedy updates and the sheer amount of never-before-seen content able to be produced by a full industry team. These are the things that just aren't feasible by an independent developer or small team of indie devs. But they are the norm, usually, with large studios like Sega. And yet, if it were left up to Sega, they could do an amazing job, as we see with Shadow Generations, but then we would only ever get remakes of games that are seen as high potential sellers, meaning it's likely we don't get a Sonic Shuffle or Dark Brotherhood remake anytime soon, which we would absolutely love. And like we said, this would also mean less community engagement, less impact and say on how we want these games to be remade, and no ability to play our favorite games however we want. By the way, let us know down in the comments what Sonic game would you love to see get the remaster or remake treatment. Yeah, so we were serious about Sonic Shuffle getting one.
We unironically have had more fun with that game than any Mario Party. And it's not that Mario Party is bad, it's great, but Sonic Shuffle is a chaotic fever dream and we love it for that.
Anyways, back to the topic at hand.
In a perfect world, we could see both official and unofficial remakes and remasters existing. If you'd like to pay for a new experience, one ripe with new content and a big studio budget, then you can. Likewise, you could also download the free mod or remaster, filled with tons of Easter eggs and additions that bring the original intention of the game to life, both being played by you and at any time, switching back and forth whenever the mood strikes, and getting to experience classic Sonic legends like Adventure and Heroes through 2 remakes, the official and unofficial. But unfortunately, this outcome seems incredibly unlikely. As aforementioned, Sega is a business. It's not that remakes won't sell. Sonic Shadow Generations apparently sold more worldwide than the original. I believe it was about 1.85 million for the original and over 2 million for the remake. It's on Google. Both numbers calculated in a similar span of time.
And that's hardly the odd one out when it comes to remakes and remasters. It's definitely a viable and very profitable option. The thing is, it is the odd one out when it comes to Sonic remakes, specifically as Sonic Colors Ultimate and Sonic Origins didn't sell as well as their originals. The original Sonic Colors with around 4 million copies and Ultimate with 3 million or so. We couldn't find an exact estimate, but it was less. And Origins sold almost 1 million copies, while just the original Sonic 1 and 2 combined sold well over 22 million or so. Now, before you go typing in the comments saying that the goal of a remake isn't to outperform the original but to simply sell well, let us just say, you were absolutely right. And all of those games we mentioned, the originals and the remakes, all sold incredibly well. And Sega should be very proud of that. Genuinely, they've had their ups and downs, but they are still in the kitchen and they are cooking. But just how likely is Sega willing to undertake a project as remaking 06 after the ginormous splash P06 made? And it's not even a matter of Sega being angry, they absolutely adore Sonic fan projects. And they are some of the most absolute chill developers when it comes to fans using an IP. And it's Sonic no less, their baby. Yet, time and time again, they celebrate the community and their ideas. So it's not that Sega would ever want to stop making remakes, but as fans get better and indie teams get bigger, there may come a time where Sega might truly question whether or not to spend millions to remake a game that others could feasibly create themselves within the community. And this is especially evident for cases like Sonic Forces, a game released back in 2017 that, as we all know, was met with very mixed reviews. Sega would be hard-pressed to spend so many resources on remaking this game after a relatively short amount of time since its release. But just like with the fan projects we mentioned before, we may not have to worry about this with projects like Sonic Forces Overclocked, created by the Overclocked team, links in the description. It's a full-on overhauled mod of the game Sonic Forces that adds levels, cutscenes, new animations, and a whole new soundtrack, while also essentially acting as a sequel to the base game. Like we said, fan projects are getting so much bigger and more advanced, and fan games don't have to wait or be picky and try to hit a certain profit margin or deadline. Even the aforementioned Sonic Riders projects added a whole slew of characters, stages, music tracks, and even new models built from the ground up.
People are extremely talented, and in the last 10 years, both the accessibility to create indie games as well as the sheer quality of indie games have increased dramatically. So it's likely that the benefits of having Sega remaking the games, the benefits of a bigger budget and more content, may actually be met with indie development, as we see many examples of this in the gaming industry today. Meaning that Fork in the Road could become more of a clear choice for fans and Sega alike, both opting for the community to make the remakes, as the debuff of less content, lower budget, and lower quality could be erased entirely, leaving less and less reason for Sega to make remakes.
But let us know what you think about all this down in the comments below. And if you made it this far, then thank you. This style of content is new for us, but very fun.
And if you know us from our main channel, then don't worry, this won't slow down any content over there.
And if this DLC channel is your first introduction to us, then go check out our main channel, DevieDarx. We've got a bunch of cool video essays and theories over there on Sonic and some other games.
Thanks for watching, everyone.